How how all right, well, let's get started. So I'm going to turn that off. Okay, we're just on stream. Hi there. Hello, hello, hello. So here's the story. One, I am doing two lives right now. I am on TikTok and I'm on YouTube. I want to share the story of last night's crazy night's sleep and the 7 pages that I've downloaded um, after meditating and after I was woken up from a crazy dream. So, the topic today is the chaos of living in 3D and 5D at the same time. So I am in the process of launching a new business, and I'm thinking about working with a new coach, and this big inquiry of do I market to 3D or am I um, confusing myself vibrationally if I um, market to 3D, even though I'm trying to create a 5D collective. So anyway, this is what we're talking about today. So last night I went to bed really early and hoped to catch up on sleep, and then had this crazy dream that I was totally being chased. And it was really uncomfortable. I was in a group of people and we were like hiding or ducking down and we're going to different homes and we were totally being chased. And that dream woke me up, and I did get to a part in the dream where I started to feel okay. I started to feel like we were safe and, oh, we were free and we got out. And so I tried to stay in bed, but I couldn't. I was Hi there. um so I got up around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I came to my meditation chair and I started meditating. And I just was not prepared with all the stuff that was going to happen. I downloaded 7 pages of stuff, just writing in this notebook. 7 of these pages of information about 5D living that I wanted to translate to you, because maybe you're going through the chaos of learning how to awaken and ascend, and how do we live in a higher frequency amongst a 3D reality. How do we do that? And so a lot of what was downloaded to me was about stepping onto a different timeline, stepping onto a 5D timeline, and what that means. Um, so I'm going to answer some comments here. Take shrooms. I don't do shrooms anymore. I don't do any kind of drugs or alcohol because it lowers my frequency. I have boys. Yes, I do. I have 8 teenagers. Okay, so and I'm just going to put light here into this feed, in both these feeds, so that we get people that are really wanting to learn about 5D, because I'm just really not going to I'm really not going to go into lower frequency land with everybody. So let's just say goodbye to you. You are weird. Okay. All right. So here we are. So one of the things that I was questioning is like the work that I do in the world. Should I be doing marketing that is geared to, like, in a 3D reality, doing like analytics and marketing research and speaking to a niche that's in a 3D reality? And I got really excited because I have someone I'm going to work with, and she works with healers and things like that. So I was like, oh, well, let's give this a try. And as I talked to my husband about it, I realized that, wait a second, I don't know if I'm totally aligned with being a coach. I love being a sound healer and I love doing content creation. Should I do coaching work? I've done coaching work in the past. I love it, yet I've noticed it does lower my frequency. So what I got in this download, after my dream and after meditation, was that if you are really committed to stepping on a 5D timeline, and really you feel like it's your mission to expand the 5D collective, that you're going to have to work differently in business, and that no, I should not go do a 3D marketing plan when I'm working in 5D and I'm stepping on a 5D reality. And so one of the analogies they gave me, which was, oh, I'll be right there with your question, just ask it and I'll get to it. One of the analogies they said, it's like a snow globe. When you step onto a 5D timeline, it's like you're looking at 3D world in a snow globe, right? And you can watch it and you see it. And so when you shake the snow globe and you entertain with the snow, you play with the snow globe, right? And it's fun for a little while, and then you take the snow globe and you put it up on the shelf. And basically you're going to stay on your 5D timeline, and the 3D timeline, the snow globe sits on the shelf, and it's there and it exists, but you don't really interact with it that much. So we have a question here, is that what is 5D? In the ascension and spiritual world, the fifth dimension is a state of consciousness. Right now, we have a very large collective consciousness on the planet that is 3D. It's a state of consciousness. A lot of people are in this great awakening time, a spiritual awakening time, and they're in this 4D corridor to 5D. 5D consciousness is all about unity. It's about love. It's about expansiveness, about consciousness. So what's happening right now on the planet is here's this 3D collective that will keep existing on the planet. But right now we're also growing a 5D collective. So if you think of them as bubbles, there's a huge bubble of 3D consciousness. And over here, there's a small 5D bubble. And what we're trying to do as people coming in as light workers, volunteers, way showers, we're trying to expand this 5D consciousness on Earth and helping the Earth to get out of the 4D corridor and raise to the 5D consciousness. You are welcome. Yeah, that was a good question. So that's what's happening. And the snow globe analogy really hit home for me. So when we are stepping onto a timeline, so you might ask, like, what is a timeline? A timeline is also a path of vibration, a path of frequency that you're committing to. And we can step on and off different timelines, okay? But when you really step onto a timeline, it really is like putting the snow globe of a different timeline over here, and you don't have to really pay attention to it that much. So I thought that was interesting, the snow globe thing. Be my tutor. Well, I do mentoring, and I do sound healing to help people raise their vibration. So I just want to share some more things in the download. I loved so what is 5D lifestyle? What is 5D consciousness? I'm going to look at my notes here. So 5D living, it includes flow and trust, that feminine energy. I like calling it flow instead of feminine because I don't like messing up, having it linked to gender. So, there's masculine and feminine energy in our systems, right? But it gets mixed up because we have a masculine, feminine genders too. So I don't really like using that. I like using flow and linear. So flow energy, trust, these are all things that we want to incorporate in 5D living. Sleeping better because of mindfulness meditation. Yeah. Get your sleep and really take care of yourself when you're in your ascension. So here we go. Flow, trust, 5D living is a lot of laughing, glowing, letting go of the past, letting go of shame and guilt, letting go and cutting the cords to your lineage trauma. Okay. What else? Let's see. Like childhood things just do not exist anymore. We got to cut the karma. We just start letting go of all that. So you step into 5D living when you're willing to really do the work to let go of the density and the trauma and the shame and the guilt and all those types of dense realities. So when you're willing to heal and let all that go and really live from the present moment, that's 5D living. And then you're living from a unity consciousness, that there's oneness. And one of the things that I got in this download of what unity consciousness really is. Some people might just like, oh, it's just love and oneness. Well, kind of, but not really. Unity consciousness is about that we are all one energy, okay? And that whoever is in your field, you are they are mirroring something within you or something you're going to learn or something. So it's you're the consciousness of them in your reality as you is unity consciousness. So let me just, there's some comments here. I lost 3 people. Wow. That's really intense. I'm so sorry, Dr. Diaz. How are you handling that? Yeah. So in 5D, what we can also do is have a perspective. If you've lost someone has passed on out of their bodies, a 5D perspective is that they're still here. It's tough because they've transitioned out of their body, but my experience with death, my father died 6 years ago at 65, is that he's still here with me. He doesn't have his body, he transitioned, but he's still here. And so it's just learning how to be in relationship with him now without a body. And grieving that they're not in your reality anymore. I wrote a song about that, about being co-creators in our reality together. And then when someone passes, they're no longer really creating that physical reality with you. So you're devastated. I am so sorry. And I just send you light and love to really to feel better with all that, Dr. Diaz. I'm sorry. And yeah, it was devastating when my father passed as well. And I had to work through that. I've noticed that working with grief comes in waves. All right. So a positive way to work through grief is to allow yourself still to have, love and laughter and light and ease and joy. But when a wave of grief comes, dance it out, sing it out, cry it out, stomp it out, walk it out, move it, really move it. And when I've noticed is when I was willing to do that with the waves of grief, they lessened. Okay. So yeah, the waves of grief would last like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Really, that was it. And at first I was kind of scared to go into the grief because I was like, I got to go work. I got to do a performance. And I was like, how am I going to do this if I go into this heavy grief and can't stop crying? But what I noticed was that I totally moved it out after 10 to like 20 minutes. So it was okay. And then when the wave came again, I was ready to just be with it. So it's important to not ignore the waves of grief, but it's also important to get on with your own joy and ease and personal evolution as well. So however long that takes for you. You're welcome. All right. So yeah, 3D living. It's about moving energy. It's about sustaining higher frequencies that are within 5D consciousness. And to do that, we are living with compassion and love and light. And we're living that new space of unity that I just talked about. So I am doing 2 lives here. So if you see me looking different places, I have my TikTok live here and my YouTube live here. So I'm trying to do both at the same time. TikTok is actually more alive with comments. So that's kind of cool. I'm good. Hi, thank you. I'm doing well today. All right. So let me see. So I'm talking about this 7-page download I had at 4:30 in the morning after my meditation, after I got woken up from an intense dream. So some of the other things, here's some things to think about if you are someone on the ascension journey and you're kind of like, 3D marketing and business doesn't really work for me. This is what it said here. If I'm creating in the 5D world, how does a human create, manifest, and actualize a reality and an experience of the 5D collective? This is how you do it. You create and just focus on people coming. Have it and give it. So be willing to have the energy of what your business is and be willing to give it back. And be the energy of it. Be the energy of what you want to give. Be the energy of what your business is, and then experience it. So it's really, the law of vibration is really alive in the 5D reality. You really have to be something, or the law of assumption as well. You need to be the energy of something. You need to cultivate it and live it and be bright and alive. And that energy, it will expand. And when you expand that energy, you're expanding your reality. And then reality starts matching up to that frequency. That's how you create in 5D reality. And so a lot of times it can get chaotic if we have 1 foot in the 3D world and 1 foot in the 5D world, because we're working with conflicting energies. And so that's why the snow globe analogy really works. I said, 3D reality is a snow globe. You shake it once, you put it on a shelf, and you don't really pay attention to it ever again. And you stay on your 5D reality with the energies that work for that reality. And people might say, oh, you're going to ignore family, you're going to ignore people. That the thing is, you will attract the 5D frequencies of the people in your life if they're still in your life. So you don't even have to worry about that. So that was another thing that came to me in this download, was that 3D reality is put on the shelf, and here I am living with my sons and my husband, and what do I have to do? Do I got to move them out? Are they on the same timeline as me? And if you are really committed to your 5D timeline, you are going to just spark that frequency in others. You'll just experience that frequency in others. So you don't even have to worry about it, really. And that's another thing that was starting to really get chaotic in my home life, because I was starting to live in 3D reality with my kids. So it's making a demand and a command of a frequency that you're willing to live with and protect at all cost. So if someone comes over to your home and they start talking about their childhood trauma, you're not their therapist, and you can just be like, I think I want to go take a walk outside, and just diffuse it. And they may just all of a sudden want to walk outside with you, and the conversation about something negative and heavy won't even come up anymore. So check the timeline you want to live on. You get to make a demand and a command of where you want to live vibrationally. But when you step onto the timeline, you also have to commit, do you want to stay there? Because you could just be timeline hopping, and it gets really chaotic. So make a decision on where you want to live. Do you want to live in 3D? Do you want to live in 4D? Do you want to live in 5D? When I'm talking about D, it means dimensional realities, which I'm talking about vibrational consciousness. That's what I'm talking about. So let me see here. Yeah, such an interesting download. I love when I get this. It's like automatic writing. This is one of the things. This is a little tool. Are you married? Yes, I am. So this was a little affirmation. If you want to write this down, guys, this is an affirmation about making a demand to live on the 5D timeline. I make a demand and a command to live from and in the 5D collective timeline. And you just say that over and over. So there's people on the planet here, and you watching might be one of them. We're light workers, volunteers, star seeds. We are people that have come to Earth to help with the raising of the consciousness. So, and it doesn't mean that our mission is more important than anyone else's experiences. It just means that we came here to help people ascend. And one of the things that I feel pretty true for me is that I came here to start growing the 5D collective. And I came here to help the Earth ascend into it. So if you feel like that's a mission of yours, then hey, Greta, how are you? Um, I'm trying something new here. I'm doing a TikTok live and a YouTube live at the same time, and I don't know how it's working. So yeah, so if you feel like you are here to, raise the planet and raise and grow the 5D collective, this might be a really important affirmation for you. I make a demand and command to live from and in the 5D collective and timeline. So for me, I'm getting that that's really important. I'm going to have to make some lifestyle choices around that, which is, yeah, I think I'll be meditating more. I'll be making more sound medicine this new year. I think I will be unhooking from 3D marketing and 3D ways of analyzing things, because judgments and analyzing and marketing and all that kind of form and structure and story is not really part of 5D. So it's a little scary. So, and fear is not part of 5D either. So it's like, as we step into the 5D timeline, it's just like Nestle's plunge into the universal trust and go for what you really love and like. Same. So much meditating is called for right now. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So much meditating. And if you have a hard time meditating, I do have, let me know if you want this. I can put it in my link. I made a list for Giving Friday, and I made 12 practices. Made 12 practices of how to stay in the light, how to stay in a high frequency. And they're just really simple practices. So if you want that PDF that's on my website, let me know. You don't have to give me anything for it. You don't have to give me your email address or anything. I'll just give the link. So let me know if you want that. So much meditation. Yeah. All right, so I'm going over this 7-page download I got this morning. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm really into the snow globe thing, that analogy that came through. That really helped. Yeah, so one of the things, no more past. As you enter a 5D timeline and live a 5D lifestyle, if you don't want to get pushed off the timeline, there's no more past. Eckhart Tolle said it great, like pictures should start fading. Okay. We have lineage trauma, we have childhood trauma, that all has to be worked on. And released. Karma has to be released. The energy of karma, childhood trauma, stories. We really have to practice one, healing it and processing the energy. You could do that through sound. I've done that my whole life through sound, processing trauma. But you need to process, you got to move that energy, and then you need to detach from the story. You have to let go of the story. I have noticed so many times that once I start getting into the story again and telling the story of my childhood, problem or whatever, I start inviting other people to tell me more of stories and density, and I jump right off the 5D timeline. So people have support for, I don't want to seem cold. Thank you. I don't want to seem cold, but people's childhood trauma is for a therapist and for their own processing of that energy. So if someone is oversharing, if you notice yourself, perseverating on your childhood story, of your past story, go get support. Go meditate some more. do some sound healing. That energy is just jumping you right off your 5D timeline. And it's okay. It's okay to have denser energy, but you really do need to process and move that energy, release the karma from it, cut the ties from your lineage, and move on if we're going to be in this 5D collective together. Mhm. So that's what came through. That's what came through here. And I noticed that parenting my teenagers sometimes is pretty tough. And it actually can spark up some of the stories from my childhood. And then if I kind of go into that, you'll notice on my TikTok grid, you'll notice that some stuff about my childhood trauma has come up. And the more I talk about it, the more I make videos about it, the more that stuff starts to surface and percolate around me with other people. And I've noticed that, okay, I've got to work this energy. For me, I sing it out with light language, and I'm going to do that. And we're going to be done with this because um, I don't want that reality. I want to be on 5D, growing that collective for the planet. And it's where you put your attention and focus is the energy that's going to grow. And that has been very, very clear to me. Thank you. That has been very clear to me. Very clear the past month when I actually started to focus more on childhood drama and trauma. And when I did do that, guess what you focus on persists, right? What is that? What you practice, you become. If I'm practicing the energy of childhood trauma, guess what showed up? My son having childhood trauma, my sister bringing her childhood trauma, my husband, like everyone started percolating childhood trauma. So if you are focusing on the spark of light and consciousness in each person, that grows. So be careful where you are putting your energy. And as someone that's doing content and trying to relate to people, and being a healer, it's tough. And this is where my question came in my meditation, because I was like, do I focus on the pain body to attract clients, or do I focus on the transformation? And, there's two rules to that. Sometimes you're supposed to use both when you think about growing a business. And it was very clear in this download, do not go to 3D anymore for me. I just talked to another healer in Portugal, and she was saying that she had the same inquiry, but she works with narcissists. She works with people that have been abused by narcissists. And she said that she felt the same way. She didn't really want to leave the 5D collective, but she said that when she started to find her niche, she was realizing that empaths that have been abused by narcissists, that she felt like she could really be of service to them. So she started to make that her niche, and now she works with them. And she says sometimes it does bring her vibration down. So there's going to be healers all along the way, and you have to make that decision of whether you want to work in the field of the 3D field as a 5D person, or do you feel lightest growing the 5D collective and staying in 5D? And that's just something that you have to decide for yourself. And for me, what I'm realizing is that I'm going to be working on transformation and talking about people's transformation and attracting people that way. So I stay on the 5D timeline because that's what's going to work best for me. So let's see, Sheila. I'm going to say goodbye to you, sir. Alrighty, so staying in the light here, staying in the light. I don't have a moderator, but I will be moderating, and we're just going to be staying in the light here. So beautiful people. Let me check my notes, and then I may want to end here with a little light language. So light language is basically sound healing that I do from a frequency of source energy. So if you could use a boost in vibration and that would feel good, stick around. I'm going to end with that. I just want to see if I have anything else in this download that is interesting for us. There's nothing you can. Here's something that was very interesting to me. There's nothing you can't do, but it must be done from the 5D rules now. You will not find success from 3D rules. Okay, so that pertains to me. And so if you feel like you're in that same thing, is that like if you feel like you've ascended and you're really on a 5D timeline, if you start dabbling in 3D, you just have to know that you're going to be jumping timelines. Or maybe you're in a midway timeline where one road, one side of the road is 5D and the other is 3D. Just, it's up to you wherever you are with your consciousness, but you're going to have to make the choice. And for me, what was downloaded for me is that anything's possible, but I have to use 5D rules and stay in 5D and let go of 3D. And that was important for me. So, and it said to the download from my higher self said, get very clear about 5D rules: love, oneness, allowance, ask questions, be, let's see, listen to source, vibrate higher, get in flow, align higher, claim it, claim your timeline, make claim and demand, follow the lightness. That's all we have to do on 5D timelines. Follow the lightness. Another thing is 5D word energies that do that jump you off of 5D. So all words have energy, and that's why I've actually I've been a singer-songwriter for a long time, and I've used words in my songs. But lately, I just do light language and vocal toning because words have energy, and words can skew the frequency of what I am, what I'm giving. Oh, thank you. Honestly, I really think it's this filter. I don't know what filter it's on, but this is how I look on lives. And if you go to YouTube, I don't I don't look that bright. Anyway, words have energy. So 5D, words have energies, and you want to align with 5D individuals, you're going to have to watch the words you're using. Yeah, your beingness comes through new world, new words. Okay, yeah. Sometimes I don't even know what I wrote. But I guess the point is I am from Colorado, United States, Colorado. And so just watch the words you're saying, people. You know, are they in flow, or are they controlling and harsh and aggressive? Are they, you know, are they 3D, you know, analytical, you know, cause and effect? That's all 3D, and 4D. What else? Words that have more 3D ways about them. Research. Anything that is form and structure. Sending positive vibes. Thank you. Anything that has form and structure is 3D. Because 5D, when you step into that, like anything's possible, and you let go of form and structure and cause and effect, and you start living from a different paradigm. It's kind of fun. So 5D living really is about broadening your perspective and living kind of like more serendipitous and more magically, and just knowing that, like, yeah, science is a fun thing. It offers possibilities, but it's not an end all, and it by all means is not the only one answer. Any true scientist knows that a hypothesis is an educated guess. And that's exactly what it is. And it's always expanding. There's never a solid answer for all time. And if you have a good scientist, they know that. And they're always expanding their information, just like we are in the spiritual awakening realm too. You may say you're this way, and then all of a sudden you expand. It's definitely happened to me. I've studied different modalities. I've been a Reiki healer, and you just keep expanding, and that's my business has to change because I'm expanding out of different modalities. So that's what happens. That's what happens. So so beautiful people. So that's what was said in my download after my meditation at 4:30 this morning. You know, they say 4:30 is a really good time to meditate because everything's like wherever you are, because your neighborhood's kind of quiet. The downloads will be clearer. And so I may just start trying to get up at 4:30 for that reason, and maybe go back to bed after the meditation. But as True Greta, I don't know if she's still on here, but she said we should be meditating a lot, guys. And that is very true. And meditating before the sun comes up really does help us get a lot clearer downloads from our higher self if you're wanting information and guidance. So if you'd like to stick around, I'm going to do a little light language to boost the vibration here. Yeah, so this vibration is coming from source energy, the 144th dimension, and light language. There's no words, it's just basically some vocal toning. So if you want to receive this, here you go. So that was called light language from source energy as a high frequency energy boost. It can be scary to people if you're not used to that. And it can start shifting your vibration. And if you're not used to that, that can feel uncomfortable. It also can help detox you physically, emotionally, mentally. And so that can be uncomfortable too. And sometimes people can really receive this frequency boost and really remember this energy. And other people just are not, it's not in their wavelength. It's not a right or wrong. It just might not be your thing. So if it's not your thing, then, just don't listen to it. All right, beautiful beings. I'm going to say goodbye. Have a beautiful, beautiful Friday. I hope that was clear. Minecraft, water, pickaxe. All right. Oh, yes, have a beautiful, beautiful. I did want to say too, I'm super excited. I have a vocal toning for manifesting course. So if you feel like you're teetering in this 3D, 5D chaos, um, in the descriptions on YouTube and in my bio link on TikTok, you'll find something called vocal toning for manifesting. And this is my new online course, and it will help liberate you from all that chaos. It'll help you raise your vibration. It'll help give you some inner peace. It will help you have this deeper sense of purpose. It will, so it'll help you learn to use your voice as a really powerful tool for awakening and ascension. So go find that in the bio link or in the descriptions of my YouTube channel. So just launched that. I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, guys, I go live as a tribe here on YouTube every Friday, and maybe we'll do TikTok too every Friday afternoon. Live as a tribe, talking about ascension, talking about light language and sound medicine, things like that. So, if that's interesting to you, make sure you like and subscribe and show up to Friday lives. All right, beautiful people. Bye-bye. Let's stop this one first.